Looking at the commodity space, we have seen a big move higher in the last few trading days in terms of Brent crude. So that's where we're going to be looking at first. We can see here on the daily time frame that we have got this nice move higher, predominantly on Friday, but really starting to follow through today. If we look on the hourly time frame, we can see that actually, we've got this near enough straight line trade over the last pretty much throughout Friday. Again, really following through at the beginning of today's session. We are starting to see this tick lower, and certainly, if you're using stochastic, it would have been pretty useless over the last 24 hours in terms of trading terms because of the fact that it's so heavily overbought. Nevertheless, you can utilize this kind of indicator by seeing potential double tops, double bottoms, formations like that, and clearly we've got this potential topping pattern here that if we manage to break out and break below this 80 mark, that could signify a deeper retracement. But if we look in terms of the shorter time frame, say the 15-minute chart, you can see 49.93 underpins price action for the time being. So there is a good chance, especially because of the fact that we're in this sort of recovery phase, that we could be seeing a real short-term pullback that could be a short-term buying opportunity. If we look in terms of Fibonacci's, we've got the 61.8 so far providing support, 76.4 down at 50.10. So that'd be an interesting level. Certainly so far 61.8 is being respected to some degree. So it's going to be interesting to see which of these holds up, if any. But we would need to see a break back below this 49.93 to negate this very strong uptrend that we've been seeing on an intraday basis for Brent crude. Finally, looking at what's happening in terms of gold, we can see here that essentially we've been seeing this massive rally in terms of gold. It broke back towards this high that we had around about 1300, 1303, posted that real long upper shadow, and there's the potential we could start seeing it top off. Now, the thing is that essentially you would expect gold to come back into favor at times of uncertainty, and therefore when you're seeing the Remain camp come back into favor, that's when you think that you might see some sort of downside in terms of this chart. And therefore, because of the fact that the last 2 weeks have actually seen the Leave campaign really doing well in terms of the UK, we've been seeing this massive resurgence. Now it's starting to turn around. There is a good chance that we could see this market really reverse. This is it on the hourly time frame. We can see here that actually, if I get rid of these Fibonacci retracements, we can see we've essentially got some form of complex head and shoulders formation, and that means that essentially we've got the creation of higher highs, higher lows. Then we falter in the potential creation of another higher high, and then we've got these sort of flatlining bottoms that need to be taken out. Vis-a-vis, if we manage to break below this 1277 and get an hourly close below there, that would give me good confidence that we are going to see a strong sell-off in terms of gold. I'd be happy to stick my stops up above this 1289 kind of area, which would mean essentially as long as it doesn't create higher highs below that level, then it would be able to give us a little bit of leeway even if it comes back up above that 1277. So that's what I'm looking at. There is a potential we could see some downside in terms of gold to come. Really all depends on whether we continue to see this risk on sentiment pervade the markets, but a lot of that is going to be down to whether we see a continuation of the Remain campaign really coming back to the fore that we've seen over the weekend, or are we going to see the Leave campaign hit the front once more in the lead up to this EU referendum vote on Thursday and the decision or announcement on Friday. It's going to be an absolutely key week, and risk on, risk off, that's what's going to be driving gold throughout the rest of this week.